Hey guys, what's going on? Back again with another zombies video, and for this one I want to talk about a potential future zombie map that we might get from Treyarch. I'm not sure if it's going to be in Vanguard Zombies or maybe in Call of Duty, maybe Black Ops 2023 when Treyarch returns, or potentially even in Infinity Ward, Modern Warfare 2 that we're going to get next year. And a lot of it, like I said, it doesn't. I'm not trying to make this look like I'm judging anyone or trying to, point fingers or anything like that. Because, like I've mentioned to people up and to be upfront and honest, is I myself have made a ton of wrong choices in life, and a lot of people are making wrong choices right now in their life. So, again, this isn't meant to kind of maybe judge what's going on, but as you guys know, last week, Activision was sold to Microsoft, probably stemming from a couple of issues that started arising in the last year or maybe a couple of years ago. I'm not going to go into too much detail because that's stuff that people know, and that's not what this is necessarily about. But there were a series of events. I'm not trying to quote any of the zombies characters either, but there were a series of events that started a nosedive for Activision. And one of the things I want to talk about again is how Call of Duty and Treyarch have always made their zombies map based on pop culture, maybe stuff that's going on in the real world. So it made me think again recently, and I saw somebody's YouTube video, has nothing to do with zombies. It was just explaining about Greek mythology, and the video was about Pandora's box, and it made me think again, like I said, looking into, and I'm not judging, but looking into how the content creators that get invited or used to get invited to Activision in California or Treyarch or Infinity Ward in California, how they eventually would get sent out, get paid, and then be able to stay in hotels for free and stuff like that, and then they would come back and just kind of bash the game that just sent them out and spent a ton of money on them. So it made me think about, like, when did this trend start, and it actually again reminds me of Pandora's box. About I'm guessing it's around the time of Transit, when Treyarch kind of got involved, maybe even in Black Ops 1. Actually, maybe even Black Ops 1, how Treyarch and Call of Duty got involved more with content creators, and they would send them packages, mystery packages, and get the community involved in solving Easter eggs and stuff like that. So it made me think again, flash forward now to 2022, what's going on with Vanguard, and was that Pandora's box for Call of Duty, or even Treyarch getting content creators involved, and then eventually those content creators would just kind of in a way being like the downfall of the zombies mode, and even kind of the downfall of Call of Duty in a sense. I know I'm not stupid that there's more serious things that went on, but like I said, that kind of started a trend, I feel, because in the elephant in the room, like I've mentioned multiple times before, is and it happened with multiplayer. So I've mentioned to multiplayer devs, and I think I've mentioned it to zombie devs, that when the games get harder and the games get tougher, because content creators are there to basically lie to their uh, viewers and subs. It's the kind of whole fake it or make it thing where they fake and lie to their subs that they're really great at the games and stuff like that. But when the games really get hard, then again they start lying, saying the game is garbage and the game's not good. But in actuality and reality is that they're not good at. They're the ones that aren't good at the game. The game's perfectly fine, because if you have 10 content creators that are bashing the game, and I've mentioned this probably going back a couple years now, you still have millions of people that are playing the game every day. Yeah, I understand that those content creators, their subs and viewers, make up a small portion of the gamers and stuff like that. Or most of them don't even own the games; they just love watching content creators. Some of them can't even afford the game. Um, and that might be kind of a good thing too. I don't want to kind of go off topic, but um, people say that that can be an issue when you have a free game. It just invites a whole bunch of unwanted people. Yeah, it's gonna help inflate numbers and stuff like that, but in a way, you're gonna also again open Pandora's box, and kind of invite a bunch of people you don't want to play your game. And again, on the flip side, like I said, I know a lot of people just love bashing Call of Duty, even though they don't even own the games. They don't own the current games. The last game that most of them own or probably played was, of course, Black Ops 3 because it was like the new gen at the time. So again, with that being said, it it would all fit perfectly, and kind of the way, like I said, how Treyarch and Call of Duty make zombies map is everything fits perfectly, and it would fit perfectly because we're in the Vanguard game, and that's kind of like a little bit tipping or slowly tipping into Greek mythology, maybe even giving a backstory about Greek mythology and stuff like that. Maybe explaining about maybe Greek gods were from the Dark Ether that came through, or maybe they were real back then, and they got banished to the Dark Ether and stuff like that. So again, everything the way Treyarch makes games and maps, it would all fit perfectly because we're in the Greek mythology theme. It has to do with what went on or what's going on in real life, and obviously Pandora's Box is pretty popular in pop culture. Again, the only thing though, and I don't have it here, but it made me think about maybe the mystery box. They can probably tie in the mystery box, maybe somehow um, the mystery box being Pandora, giving us a backstory of maybe the mystery box. I'm not even sure if the chaos story, if the mystery box was Pandora's box back then. That's something now, like I said, when I do this stuff, I'm like, hey, maybe I'm actually onto something. But it has nothing. I'm not trying to like relive or revive the chaos story at all. I'm just saying how what's going on now with like again these garbage content creators that are not good at the game or they just get lazy. I think more than anything, I think they're just lazy. I think, like I said, people don't, or I don't know what's going on, but a lot of them just don't even make content anymore. They don't play the game. They just make content saying the game's bad. So it's like, it would be the same if I made a video about a Ferrari or a Corvette never having driven or owned um, a Corvette or a Ferrari and then just making a bunch of hate videos about it. So that's kind of the same thing again what we're going through right now with Vanguard. But again, the way it relates to a future map, I think the best way to maybe take a break or end the zombies map would just to make one about Pandora's box and kind of like give us an insight of like the or bring us back to maybe 2011 2012 when Treyarch started, you know, sending people or inviting people to the studio. And the only other thing that I do want to say, it kind of makes me wonder what Jimmy Zielinski's thinking. Because I remember Jimmy Zielinski saying in interviews, I believe, unless I'm misremembering or creating fake memories, that he was against getting content creators involved. He didn't want that kind of get. I know in a way Blundell said something similar, but he's pretty much involved with the zombies community even after Treyarch. So I don't want to include him because it reminds me more of like Jimmy Zielinski. I can tell Jimmy Zielinski's probably somewhere thinking, I told you guys, I told you guys not to like get involved with that, and um, I remember, like I said, I remember him or seeing an interview or maybe on Twitter or maybe even hearing a zombie YouTuber say that like Jimmy Zielinski and even Lee Ross was against getting content creators too involved. Um, so that kind of is Pandora's box. That started the ultimate downfall. I know even in multiplayer, it was a big thing in multiplayer. So that's pretty even ironic too that um, the same, because the thing that I said to some of the devs in multiplayer and zombies is how, in what way, or maybe somebody needs to explain it to me. In what way inviting toxic people to your studio and paying for their flight and paying for their hotel and pretty much giving them money, because I think some of them get like a stipend or some type of like commission or um, some type of cash for coming out. Um, like, in what way possible can that be good to invite toxic people out that just go back and bash the game on Twitter during live streams, during um, YouTube videos? In what way could that ever have turned out to be a good thing? So that would make for like a cool little, again, maybe the final, giving us backstory of like the mystery box, and then giving us a backstory of like stuff that's going on in real life. Maybe throw in some pop culture movies. Which, funny enough, if I scroll here, sometimes they tell you um, about what movies. No, I guess there really might not be, or there might be just be too many. But if you're not familiar with what Pandora's box is, and I probably should have mentioned that first, is it's basically a box or a jar, and it's kind of like someone even got sabotaged. So that would even be funny too, to think like maybe somebody new getting content creators involved would be the ultimate downfall of Call of Duty and maybe the zombies mode and multiplayer and stuff like that. Maybe somebody was like, oh, trying to sabotage, because that's exactly what the story is. Um, or opening a can of worms, I guess, is also another saying that kind of evolved from Pandora's box. But basically, you give somebody, let's say you hate somebody, you have an enemy, then you put like a bunch of scorpions or wasp or killer bees in a box or a jar, and you tell them, whatever you do, don't open this box, and they're gonna open it, or if they open it or break it, that the bees are just gonna swarm them and kill them. So that's basically what it is. I think everybody should know what Pandora's box is. I was even Googling too to see if any of our zombie story has anything to do with that, but nothing seemed to match up. I thought maybe, again, like maybe the summoning key. Maybe somebody realized that maybe the summoning key or the mystery box itself is Pandora's box, but how? I know in Chaos Story they mention it as being like the Abyss or something like that, so I don't know what that's all about. But it's funny to see that none of these um, games really had any Pandora's box. There's nothing as far as Pandora's box comes up in a search. Like, usually it'd be like Call of Duty is, somebody probably did like a Reddit post saying Call of Duty is based off of Pandora's box or something like that. But I just made me think about the idea of how great, because that was ultimately their undoing, and maybe in a way like a message to Xbox, like, hey, don't open Pandora's box, don't get these content creators, the same garbage ones that make hate videos and shit post videos every single week. They're not good at the game, they they can't even get to probably round 20 on Darren Fang. They can't, probably survive in World at War Nocturne on Toten. The only game that they really seem to love is Black Ops 3 because it has gobblegums. Some of them use like Perkaholic on like the Giant. Some of them use Perkaholic on some of these easy rounds. They need to have Perkaholic in their lineup for their gobblegums. So it made me think, like, how. I mean, we're in January. We have basically till DLC 6, which is probably like October, November of next year, or September, or this year. That it would be cool to get like a Pandora's box themed map. Maybe explain, like, again, the backstory of the mystery box, giving some real life inspiration. Maybe throw in some movie pop culture stuff like that. Um, Again, and then it would be a good warning. Like, it would be the best final zombies DLC. Um, the last and final zombies map, giving a warning to any other studios out there. not to open the box or something like that, or maybe it end with like the mystery box being lost somewhere or something like that, and with a warning on it. That actually happened in a movie that I saw recently, about not opening the box. What movie was that? I want to say I saw a movie. Oh, Jumanji, as a matter of fact. It could be like even something with Jumanji, kind of bring back some Jumanji themes and in zombies. But Jumanji, I think, is eventually or basically a Pandora's box story. Because I actually watched Jumanji for the first time in a while. But how cool would it be to get like a final warning to people, like don't open this box, or give a backstory about the mystery box, and maybe the final um cutscene for like Treyarch zombies. You see like the mystery box floating somewhere or buried somewhere, and it had a warning, don't open it, and stuff like that. Again, how it would parallel perfectly of like what's going on and what went on with these garbage content creators that just put a bunch of hate videos out there. How they basically. I mean, I'm glad they don't send them out. I know COVID-19 is a whole nother, not to be a pun, but like a whole nother can of worms. But like, I know COVID-19 was a big reason for a lot of things, but it could be a fair warning to Xbox, like, hey, don't get these content creators involved when you guys take over, the game. Not to say that Xbox is going to be hands-on about anything. They're probably just going to be like any other publisher or studio or whatever. Just make the game. Here's the money. We'll leave you alone. You guys are the experts. You know what to do. But in a way, be like a cool little warning. That would be like an amazing story too, if they let's say they do skip um let's say they do skip Infinity Ward and they do skip Modern Warfare 2. What if like Vanguard's last DLC is about Pandora's box, and then it ends knowing that in 2023 Xbox is going to be the new owner of Activision and Treyarch Zombies and Zombies all together, and it ends as a warning to like Xbox about getting the people involved or something like that. That would be like the most perfect ending to the Activision era and to the like Treyarch Call of Duty Activision era. I know they're still gonna exist. They're just gonna exist under Xbox and stuff like that. But it would be kind of like a really cool thing to do. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you think. I'll see you guys later.